it. He'd been in this canyon for 3 months, and everything that seemed chaotic actually had its own strange sense of order. It was like an invisible hand was maintaining the rules of this place. The mysterious, all-powerful monster at the canyon's center had to be a dragon. The meat he found that day, it must have been a gift. He finally understood why in 3 whole months he hadn't seen a single monster at or above the Emperor tier. Running until he was completely exhausted, the truth finally slammed into him. The Dragon Abyss wasn't a graveyard, it was a breeding farm. Cao Peng looked back toward the mountain. A monster breeding farm? That explained why for so many years, not a single monster above the Emperor tier had ever been left behind in these caves. It seemed that once they matured, they were all taken away. A screen popped up. Monster Long Yi. Level 32. Tier Chieftain. Quality Epic. Attribute Light, Weakness, Dark. Ability Supervision. A level 2 trait. White Pole Luminous Pupil. It inherited the dragon's innate eyes, giving it the ability to see through all darkness. Calamity Assimilation. Effect 1 of passive ability. With its pupil type ability at +1, it could now weaken negative effects like fog and illusions, all based on the host's own level. A solid active buff. At level 5, this skill would unlock clairvoyance. At level 7, it would grant complete immunity to all negative effects. The potential was huge. And at level 9, its range of vision would increase dramatically. But here's the catch. Clairvoyance would be affected by the elemental density of whatever it was looking at. After Erwa finished its meal, the white dragon's eyes successfully evolved. Cao Peng was both relieved and annoyed. He'd been worried sick about another monster attack, while this little guy was just chomping away without a care in the world. He immediately noticed Erwa's new ability and the fact that its eyes were literally glowing. The name, White Extreme Gay Light Pupil, sounded insanely powerful, but it seemed to have zero offensive capabilities. Still, here in the dense fog of Dragon Garden Canyon, it was a game changer. At least the thick miasma's effect on his vision was almost completely gone. But that solved one problem only to create another. It was time to leave. While his familiars were safe inside their pocket dimension, they couldn't grow in there. But what was he supposed to do with these little dragon ant babies? Then, an idea sparked in Cao Peng's mind. A brilliant, devious idea. Wait a second, there might be a way. Elsewhere in the canyon, a father dragon ant was just chilling, soaking up the sun, enjoying a perfectly peaceful afternoon. What a great day. He felt so lazy he didn't even want to hunt, especially since there was still leftovers from a few days ago. Yeah, a day off sounded perfect. Suddenly, a strange noise cut through the silence. He shot up, instantly on alert. Something was out there. But all the Emperor-level monsters had been cleared out of the canyon. Who would be dumb enough to provoke him? Then, 4 little heads popped out of the bushes. Sanhua, Wuhua, Qihua, and Siwa. The father, dragon ant, just stared, completely dumbfounded. What was this? Whose kids were these? Before he could react, they all swarmed his leg, crying, "Daddy, Daddy." He felt a strange sense of nostalgia. What a bunch of cute, troublemaking kids. His own 2 children were this adorable when they were little. But now they were all grown up and independent, almost ready to move out on their own. He thought once they finally left, he could ask the mother dragon ant if she wanted to have another batch. He tried to be gentle. "Hey, little guys, don't just call anyone your dad. I'm really not your father." But these little ants were master actors. They immediately threw themselves on the ground, wailing, "Daddy doesn't want us. Daddy doesn't want us anymore." The father dragon ant panicked. "Stop shouting. The mother dragon ant will hear you." Too late. Hearing the commotion, she was already on her way out. "What is that old fool doing out there?" she muttered to herself. "Why is it so noisy?" She approached to see her partner surrounded by a bunch of random kids, still pleading, "Stop calling me Daddy. I am not your father." The little ones put on their most pitiful faces. "Daddy, you don't want us anymore? Mommy told us to find you before she left. We'll be good. Daddy, please don't send us away." The mother dragon ant's face turned demonic, fury blazing in her eyes. The old man could only stammer, "Honey, let me explain." She knelt down to the little ants. "Hey there, where are your parents?" They launched into their sob story. "We don't have any parents. They abandoned us." Her maternal instincts kicked in instantly, and she swept the crying children into her arms. "Oh, you poor things," she cooed. "You come with me. I'll make sure you have plenty to eat." And they, of course, kept up the fake crying. The poor dragon ant couple had no idea they walked right into Cao Peng's perfectly laid trap. Watching from the bushes, he gave his little actors a silent thumbs up. He then returned to the canyon ledge and summoned all his familiars, feeling a bit overwhelmed by the sheer number of them. Having so many familiars was a headache. Who should he prioritize for leveling up? Just then, a band reported, "Master, there's a monster underground to your right." Gao Peng gave the order. "All right, dig it out." A band slammed the ground, and a small monster was instantly exposed. It was a flame-tailed marten, a dual-type monster, earth and fire. The monster was completely baffled. How was it discovered? Wasn't it perfectly hidden underground? Its ability was Flame of the Great Earth, level 4. He ordered, "Swallow that fire." Xiao Yan scurried over, inhaled the flame in one gulp, and then immediately let out a massive gas bomb. Poor Xiao Huang caught the full blast and collapsed, acting like he was poisoned. "Ah!" he cried, falling over. "I'm dying." Seeing this, Xiao Yan blazed with fury. "I'm going to kill it." But Gao Peng stopped him. "Hold on, don't kill the marten yet. It still has its uses." He then began to explain the plan to Xiao Yan. "Your power," he said, "allows you to grow stronger by absorbing other flames. After you absorb a flame, your own core flame digests it. So, we'll just let this flame-tailed marten continuously produce fire for you. It's like having a renewable, living power bank, but for its mistake of showing up, this monster had to pay a price." Gao Peng was no saint. "Of course," he added coldly, "the day it stops producing fire is the day it becomes dinner." The flame-tailed marten's fate was sealed. You're a monster," it whimpered. Meanwhile, somewhere in the void, Dazi drifted around, wondering why there was nothing good to eat lately. A fissure hangs in the air before him, a spatial rift, and that scent, that familiar feeling. It's the smell of earth. Dazi immediately lunges for it, but slams into an invisible barrier. A shadowy figure observes it all. The other side has a worldly suppression, and Dazi's power is growing too fast to pass through. Another being unable to withstand Dazi. What to do now? If Dazi stays, its power will outpace the suppression's unlocked speed on the other side. A real problem. This creature has a healthy appetite, but it can't just remain here. It has already overstayed its welcome. The shadow conjures a light as vast as a galaxy. The plan? Send it to another world. The other figure objects. But that would be against the rules. Dazi, unable to pass through, collapses, crying its heart out. Gao Peng, "I don't think I can see you again. The rules are fixed, but the living are not." A new power envelops the rift. Someone is interrupting Dazi's emotional moment. Another presence. Dazi looks toward the rift. How is it supposed to get through? It tentatively sticks its leg into the rift, and it actually goes through. But looking down, it sees a massive ocean. What if it drowns? Maybe it's better to stay and see if another chance comes. Heartbroken, Dazi prepares to pull back. Gao Peng, "Wait for me," but the one pulling the strings has other plans. A powerful force shoves Dazi completely through the rift. "Get lost!" It plummets out of control. Dazi looks back just in time to see the rift vanish. Unbelievable. Below, a monstrous shadow appears under the water. A massive fish leaps from the sea to attack Dazi, but the creature nimbly dodges before unleashing its lightning power.